I enjoyed the film. Very emotional, but I enjoyed it. So to start out, Matthew, why don't you talk about sort of where the whole idea came from?
Yeah, the idea for Xeno uh, came first and foremost from my son. Um, when he was about 6 or 7, he would draw all these different scary things, and I noticed he had this one picture he kept drawing over and over again of this sort of monstrous-looking four-legged creature, and I asked him what it was, and he said, "That's Croak." And I was like, "Oh, he looks terrifying. Are you having bad dreams about Croak? Is it something we need to worry about, your mom and I?" And he was like, "Oh no, he's actually really nice. He just looks this way." And that really started me thinking about that childlike engagement with monsters and how they don't take everything at face value. And the story from there just got more and more important to me and something I had to tell.
Now, obviously, since the creature was partially designed at the studios, made at the studios, there is then, I'm assuming, at least most, if not all, of the film, an actual person or puppet or whatever there. So, what was it like for the two of you filming and interacting with that?
It was honestly a dream come true for me. I've always been a fan of the Jim Henson creatures, especially like Labyrinth is one of my favorite movies of all time. I
Me
made
too.
watch it while we were filming.
Yeah,
While we were filming,
yeah.
you know. But yeah, it was a dream, and it was also my relationship with Croak came so much naturally than I could have ever anticipated, which was just a huge plus. I think it's just such a well done suit that it's a no brainer that like that is a creature in need for me to help and bond with. Yeah, it was an incredible experience. It was nothing like I've ever done before, and nothing like I don't think I will ever do again. It's pretty great.
How
Right.
about you, Trae?
Yeah, I mean, when I first read the script, I was like, oh, it's a sci-fi film. It's gonna be really cool. There's gonna be a lot of CGI, everything like that. And when we started working and I started seeing this, I was like, oh no, this is like art. Like this is like one of the purest forms of art. Like you're literally creating something from the ground up, and it's existing with all of us like in the same space. And the fact that Matt was able to pull it off and do it as well as he did, like made the whole film. It took the film from like already really good to like really, really good. But it was probably easier for both of us to like, actually see something and react to it. And I've, done things where I'm just like, oh, look at the tennis ball. And it's like, I don't, it's so much better to kind of feel the soul and like the presence that this creature has. And also knowing that people took the time to make it and do it this well, that form of artistry is really incredible. And also, of course, Garrett, our man in the suit.
Garrett Van,
Yes.
our amazing suit performer.
Yes,
Yeah.
our suit performer, exactly. He made the whole experience so much better because also he would consult us and talk to us and be like, hey, like, this is what we're kind of going to be doing. I'm going to get this close to you and I'm going to be doing this. What do you think about this? And he would always bounce things off of us. And it just made the process the easiest thing that I've ever done with any special effects or practical effects ever. So yeah, it's really good.
Matthew, what about you directing I mean, obviously it's still an actor, but there's got to be some difficulty in having, a bigger someone who's even just bigger just because of the suit and everything else. What are some of the challenges that come along with that from a directing standpoint?
Yeah, the challenges of working with the suit, they're not self-evident from jump. Like there's no training manual. But I would say, the thing that we figured out way too late was that he doesn't always have to be in the whole suit. So like, now it's like, well, yeah, like, come on. Why? It was about the last half of the shoot that we went, oh, we're only seeing the front of him, so let's leave the legs exposed and let him have sneakers on so he's not running around on stilts. You know, I know it sounds embarrassingly obvious now, but it didn't occur to any of us professional filmmakers on set until about day 12.
There was a lot going on.
There was
credit.
Well, I'm sure he appreciated it once you decided that.
Oh, he was like, this is a game changer. He suddenly like he was able to run and it changed the game.
It's like, why don't I just run the whole time, actually?
Suit was the best.
Yeah,
thing
the
ever.
Converse.
I always had the Converse
But
on.
I can't praise Garrett Vanderloon enough. That even half exposed, the brutality of having to. He's in this closed off space, surrounded by latex and the brutal desert sun, and he never complained. It was just yeoman's work from start to finish. He just showed up and did his job, and it was inspiring to watch.
Awesome. Lulu, talk some about some of the more physical scenes that you had, because obviously I don't know if you're really riding the bike or not, but well, actually you both ride bikes now that I think about it. Did you guys really ride the, I don't know, are they dirt bikes? I don't know what to call them. Sorry.
Trey rode the bike not even one time. He was not
Oh.
allowed to get on the bike. I, on the other hand, I rode the ATV for some of the scenes, not for all of them. I like at the time didn't even have my license to drive a car, so I was a little bit like nervous that I might run in full force to a human being. And they were also worried about that. So I didn't do 100% of it. I had a great stunt performer working alongside me who did a lot of that, but you know, there were other more physically involved scenes, and I come from a background of doing some action movies, and it was totally different from what I've had to portray in other films because I'm not like full force like killing people. I'm kind of being victimized. And I think it was in and of itself an emotional process, you know, doing those physical scenes. But I mean, Matt was incredible and made me feel so comfortable the whole time. Even when I was kind of freaking out on the ATV, like he instilled confidence in me always. Yeah, of course, it's true. It's really sweet.
Is there any part of the characters the two of you had trouble connecting with?
I feel very similar to Renee as a person. Even the wardrobe I was wearing is all stuff that I wear in my life. So it was not that difficult. It honestly, like it was difficult, the idea of tapping into a character who has this fully formed relationship with something that's, you know, no, it's not another person, it's a creature, and it's also a guy in a suit, you know. But things came naturally.
Yeah, and I think for me, Gil was really the only character from Albuquerque, native to Albuquerque, because they had moved from Renee and her mother moved
Croak
from
moved from
California.
space.
Yeah, Croak moved too.
Yeah.
Everyone, there's a lot of moving, a lot of U-Hauls, but Gil was kind of the embodiment of Albuquerque in kind of the sense, I guess. And I think and it wasn't even really difficult, but just getting to know Albuquerque and just like going out every morning and walking and getting to know people because it's such a unique culture there. Like it's literally like a culture I've never been exposed to before, and it wasn't necessarily difficult. It was fun to like talk to people and like kind of like go to restaurants and kind of become a local in a sense. And I think it helped my performance a lot. Just my cadence and how I carried myself and everything like that. I think that was really the most important, not necessarily difficult, but most important for me.
That's fair. What is each of your favorite scene? If you can tell me something without spoiling it too much for the people who haven't seen it.
I I'll go first.
Yeah, go first.
No, my favorite. I mean, I have so many. But my favorite scene, and not just because she's here. There's a scene where Renee is trying to feed Croak in the basement, and she starts sharing stories with this otherworldly monster that are intimate. She starts telling about her father and kind of some of her. She opens up to this creature in a way that she's not opened up to any human being in the film. And it was just a very personal scene for me, just growing up with dogs and loneliness. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to make the movie. And she did it so, Lulu just performed it so wonderfully.
Thank you.
And Garrett, even in that suit, like, it's unbelievable the performance he gives her, just kind of when he raises his head and when he puts it down and when he tilts. And it's a soft, gentle scene in a movie that can get loud, and I just love it.
What about you two?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably my favorite scene is when we're in this kind of valley and having this conversation of security and like, are we secure and kind of keeping this creature at bay, or can we keep him safe? And Gil is kind of dealing with his own kind of qualms about that, and it's almost like you can see his character kind of wavering between both, where it's like I really care about this person, but also I'm scared, and it's like kind of like one of those things where he doesn't know himself what he's going to do. And it was really fun playing both sides of that because every line it would flip flop. It would be like yes, no, and it's more of an internal kind of dialogue there. That was really fun.
Okay. Lulu?
This is a hard question. I mean, I do really love there's a short specific scene that I always loved because I thought it was really funny. of Renee at school kind of hounding Gil for
Yeah.
so she can, make what needs to happen. I love that scene, and I think it showed Renee's, dedication and how committed she is to, helping out her bud in the desert. But I really love the scene that Matt was describing, and that thing how just the tilt of a head, can convey so much. And the way she opens up to Croak in that moment is, I don't think, a way she's ever opened up before. So I think it's a really important scene for her character.
All right. Thanks guys so much for
Thank
talking to me. I
you.
appreciate it.